Yo, 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 it's the Jolly and Slim Show. Yeah, let's go. Time to lock in, turn the volume up. We bring that heat, yeah, we keep it tough. Mindset, hustle, life on the go. You already know it's the Jolly and Slim Show.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, let's go. It is time to record another episode of the Jolly and Slim Show. Thank you for being here and watching and paying attention to whatever nonsense we happen to be talking about. I am Slim.
And I'm Jolly.
He's Jolly. And this is the Jolly and Slim Show.
So
we were just talking, right back where we were. We were just talking off camera or off recording about the new V Friends Spectacular Series super stickers and how there is a bounty out there, 2 bounties out there for the black cat, the whatever it is. What is the deal with this black cat sticker? Is it just the one of one that they want, or is it all
right, so for that sticker, for each character, they have 2 autograph cards that are one of 2 and 2 of 2. And
okay.
And the 1 of 2, whoever owned that spec NFT got that card.
That's right. Got it.
They put the other one.
I remember seeing that now. I remember that was what it was.
So the question
so Mike already has the spec one, like the 1 of 2, but he wants to get the 2 of 2.
Yes.
Is the deal. Okay, got it. So he put out a $15,000 bounty on the 2 of 2 card for the black cat. And then somebody else came behind him and put out a $20,000 bounty on the same card. So the question that you posed to me was, what do I do if I open that card? Do I take Mike's $15,000 bounty, or do I take the other guy's $20,000 bounty?
There's also
a third question. Okay, keep it.
Yeah.
Third option is there's a fourth option. So the third option is keep it, hold it, see what happens in the future. The fourth option is stick it on something.
God, that would be insane, dude.
You basically stick a new truck to a telephone pole is what happens when you stick that sticker.
Without wrecking into it.
Yeah. You don't even harm the telephone pole. Yeah. Like that. So that is the fourth option. So I'll tell you what I would do. I would definitely if I'm sitting at my house, I'm opening packs, and I get that card. So nobody sees me get it, right? I definitely reach out to Mike, right? Like I definitely reach out to Mike and I say, hey, like, I know you've got a bounty on this. I have it. Here's proof. Like, but I also know that you probably know that there is a higher dollar amount bounty. So let's figure out what this looks like, right? You know what I mean? I'm not necessarily saying that if I got it, I would make Mike go to 20,000 or 21,000 or whatever, but I would at least pose the question to him of like, is there anything you would like to add to your offer? You know what I'm saying? Like, not necessarily even cash, but like, you know what I mean? Like, here it is. I own it. You want it. So like, what does that look like? You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, I might actually just take the 15. If he's like, no, 15,000 is the highest I go. Like, you know what I mean? Then I might just take it. Like at the end of the day, like if I did get another $5,000 from the other guy, like I would just blow it on something stupid anyway. So like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree with you on that. I think like I would like if I opened it like you said by yourself, pulled it, I would reach out to Mike first and basically same situation probably. I wouldn't be really demanding anymore or anything like that. I'm sure by now he knows about the 20 grand, but also Gary's trying to get it too. So, but I would basically let Mike make the first right of refusal without trying to twist arms. And again, I think I'm the same way as you. I would.
I wouldn't twist his arm. I would just pose to him like, hey, I've got it. You want it. Like, what do we do? What conclusion can we come to? You know?
But I think, the same outcome is we're still going to sell it to Mike.
Yeah, most likely it still goes to Mike, right? Like that's just like, that's just the proper human being thing to do.
Yeah, because the fact that we're in the community, know
Yeah.
Like
I don't know that other guy.
how much
Yeah.
how much
I've
that
met
means to
Mike. Yeah.
yeah, how much that means to him. It's for his little girls. Like I would love to be a part of
Yeah.
helping
Part of the
him
story. Yeah.
achieve that. And I think that's where it should be,
Yeah.
regardless.
Yeah. You become part of that story, and that's worth it in the long run, right? Like that's what's cool. So
Yeah.
like I said, I did buy a
But
pack of those from Snake Jake earlier, and I forgot what
yeah,
I got. I got a Red Devil something, a Gritty Ghost something, and then one other card that I don't remember.
yeah, I bought a
And
pack.
then I also bought two. I bought two characters in Sneaker Dad's break
Yeah,
yesterday, but it didn't fill yet. So
and
I'm just
you know
waiting.
what? Like
I know what
I don't
characters I
know.
got, but
I don't know how many breaks you've watched and seen, but
none.
I've heard a lot about people saying that like some breaks people are taking forever to be able to feel.
Yeah.
Not that they're not feeling, but like what blew my mind yesterday, and I forgot who it was, and it may be Sneaker Dad, and it may be was it $25 random spot?
$25 spots. Yeah. Random spots. Yeah.
That's what I don't understand. It was a case break, right?
Case break. Yeah.
Okay, $25 for a random character. You go into other streams for a case break. There are other people, and I'm not saying it's certain people, but you go in there and see those same spots selling for 45 and 50.
Right.
You know,
For a pick your character or
for random too.
oh really?
And it's like I'm just like it doesn't make sense sometimes that
Yeah. I don't understand them. I
there
don't understand it either.
it.
Well,
I mean,
other than the fact that the platform, like, okay, so I had been watching Sneaker Dad's stream a little bit because I was actually driving, so I just like had it on my phone and I could hear it, but I wasn't watching the phone, right? But I was watching it, right? I had bought two spots, and when I would close Whatnot and go back in to Whatnot, I had to search for Sneaker Dad because he didn't even come up in the list.
well,
You see what I'm
you're
saying?
right, because
Like that doesn't make sense. That doesn't feel good. And so that's why he's not filling is because he doesn't show up in the list of things. Like, they know that I was looking for that product, but they're putting the other streamers in front of me before him.
I wonder, and I'm probably answering my own question, but I guess I wonder if that is what it means when people come in your stream and boost your streams, that it puts it to the top of those lists.
Well, that's the idea for that for sure. Because
Well,
otherwise,
that,
why would you do it? You know what I mean?
well, I knew there was boosting it. I just didn't know in what aspect it was being boosted.
Like what
but
it
now
was
that
boosting.
makes
Yeah.
that makes sense now. That
It has to be put me higher up the list. Essentially, that's the only reason you would boost someone. I imagine. But anyway, point being, when that fills, I got the Smooth Spider and Curious Crane in that in that break.
I was kind of mad because that swish shark,
right.
whatever
it is,
they were having they were supposed to do one case, and then a 3 case break, and they had the Jolly Jacko spot at $67 or something, $68, and I went and bought it because I was like that's pretty. I think that's a pretty fair deal for 3 cases. So I was like, cool. And I was sitting there and watched them do the first break, and they say no. They were about to do the second break when Gary showed up. They said no. I get a message from Whatnot. The order was canceled. Because they took that break off the board. I was like, what? Like what? I was like,
that
man,
sucks.
yeah. Because I was like, okay. But then I was right earlier. I was on Hobby Breaks, I think,
Yeah,
or something like that.
Hobby House.
Hobby House, yeah.
Yeah.
And they were doing a 4 case break, like a crate, what they call it. And I went in there and bid on the spots were going a little cheaper on the cheap end. So I think they were going around like $20-$25. So I went and pre-bid 40 Jolly. And then a lot of people started coming in, and it was getting closer to Jolly. I'm like, and then I went and looked at the pre-bid.
Someone's gonna get it. Yeah.
Yeah, I went and looked at the pre-bid. It was at $58. I was like, all right, I'll go up to 60. Nope. I was like, all right, I'll go to 75. I was like, nope. And I don't really have the money to be doing this. So,
Right.
But I was like, yeah. I want to get into at least one break, but I want it to be like 3-4 cases. And I was like,
you want to be a good one.
So I ended up I really didn't want to. It was one of those where you were bidding and then you're mad because every time you try to go up on your pre-bid, someone
Yeah,
already pre-bid, and
you
you're
get
like,
outbid already. Yeah.
and you're just like, I'm about to go up just to prove. And then I ended up bidding $100 pre-bid, and I was like, okay, $25 a case basically is what I'm in for.
Right.
So I was like,
Which is
all right, I'll
which is
take,
what you know. That's what.
yeah,
That's not bad.
I think that's fair.
Yeah.
And I was like, and then I was like, okay. And then I was like, man, I kind of hope I don't win this spot because I really don't want to spend $100.
I don't want to spend the money.
And then I was like, all right. And then I checked, and someone had already went up 100 to 105, so I got outbid. But I'm gonna get into some breaks. I'm just gonna wait a little bit, but honestly, I think I'm gonna probably just wait until I see the cards hit eBay.
Right.
And I'm basically trying to use the cards I have to trade for jollies.
Sure.
Like I'm not really worried about value. Like I would trade that OG art card for a jolly OG art, like just straight up.
Yeah, just straight up trade. Yeah.
Now, depending, I'm sure the jolly probably has more value than the Firefly. But
Right.
I mean, if someone was willing to, I would trade straight up. But like the ambitious angel, I would trade straight up for jolly. Honestly, I think that would be almost a fair, even trade in this product.
Right.
So basically, I'm trying to use that trade for trade type thing, and then
Sure, of course,
all the ones that are base and stuff, I'm probably just gonna wait till they hit eBay, and probably just pick them up off there here and there. Like there's a lot of there's a lot of them, but like the case hits and stuff, like that's why I'm glad I got that case hit because maybe I can maneuver. I don't know.
Yeah.
Again, I like the product. The cards feel a little different. They're a little bit thicker.
Okay.
And they feel more like a card actually.
Okay.
They're a little bit
but they're not stuck to the paper as good.
Yeah, apparently. But
some of them aren't.
But I do like them, and I do think I think this is like all the base and stuff out of this product is going to be just like all the base and chrome, like really not worth anything.
That's right.
You know.
Well, that's what happens. That's what's supposed to happen, to be honest. Like that's
you're right.
Like unless it's a product like Immaculate, where like there is no real base, like even the base is or Series 1, right? V Friends Series 1 cards, even the base, there's only 55 of them or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like and that, even though it's not numbered, it's still a really, really rare card.
I think we just been spoiled that in V Friends for a while, like base and like really not like cards are actually worth something. So
yeah,
but I mean, I think it's good that it's doing that and someone made a point also that like the diamond cut cards, that's a case hit too, and like there was some of them were selling for like $90 to $100, and that's a good price.
Sure,
but this is a case hit. A box costs $90.
Right.
So that
it should be worth more than that. Yeah.
I mean, personally, not just because I have one, and I think case hit should probably be worth 300 plus. Like they shouldn't be any less than 300. You know what I mean? It's a case hit. Out of 12 boxes, there's only one card of that. So
right.
And I think out of the OG, I think there might even be 100 of them. Of each one.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how many cases there are. Are there 10,000 cases?
I don't know.
Actually, it would be more than that because there's 2 different case hits, and I assume you would only get one of the case hits per case. Like you're not getting a die cut and a OG art in the same case, right? You're getting. You see what I'm saying?
I would say you're not.
No, there might be there might be the potential for that, but that's not what's supposed to happen. That's the rule and not the exception. Is my point, right? Yeah, we don't talk about exceptions.
You might get lucky.
We talk about rules,
and you might get lucky and get that one case that happened with.
Right. So, that's not but that's not what I'm getting at. Like when you ask questions like that, you're talking about like what's supposed to happen, right? Yeah. So
true.
But so anyway, point being. So I have a thing that happened to give you a backstory of and ask your thoughts on it. Okay. So following up my job journey that's been going on, right? Okay. So yesterday I basically like almost had a fit, right? I delivered paint to a house that I had already delivered paint to, right? So like that's okay, like that happens. But you would think that if you're going to take paint to a house, these are houses that are under construction, new homes. So you would think that if you were bringing 20 gallons of paint to this house, and it's not 20 gallons of the same thing, it was 5 gallons of like trim paint, 5 gallons of wall paint, 10 gallons of like exterior, what, you know, whatever it was.
Yeah.
But either way, you would think that if you had brought paint to them and you were bringing more paint to them, it's because they had run out of the first batch, right? Like that would make sense. So I get to the house that I'm going to yesterday and I bring it into the garage and there sits the pile of paint that I brought like literally 3 days before in the exact same spot, hadn't been moved, hadn't been touched. Okay. So I am like, clearly you knew that you needed this other 20 gallons of paint for this house. Why didn't you order it all at one time?
Okay, see, my mind was thinking they double ordered.
No. It's different. It's not that I ordered. It's not that I brought them the same thing twice. It's that this is like, we need more. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's not that they ordered it on accident 2 times. It's that this is in addition to the original order. So this made me very, very mad because I was like, okay, what you're basically telling me is you knew you needed this other paint, but you didn't order it when you ordered the first batch of paint, which means I have to drive 3 hours to Alabama twice to do the same thing. See what I'm saying?
When you could have just brought...
I could have just brought it all at once. And you didn't even need it when I brought you the first batch because you haven't touched it yet. That part I just now thought about. Clearly, you didn't even need it yet because I brought it 3 days ago or whatever, and you haven't even opened it. So what's going on here?
Maybe they're living by the rule, you know, better to have it and not need it, and then need it and not have it.
Nope. Well, so that is actually, so this home builder, they build a bunch of houses, and they all basically get like one of 3 different color packages, right? Like they're all the same. Okay. So there is scenario where like they might over order on this house and they'll just use it on that house, right? Like that makes sense. But here's what happens, I think, but this could still be alleviated if they did their job properly. So when they start these projects, like the whole subdivision, right? They generate POs, purchase orders from their corporate level for each of the houses that are being built. But what they've learned while building the houses is that it actually takes more than what they'd thought, right? And so the PO for the original order has already been generated. So they send us that PO and we deliver it. And then they go, oh, right, we actually need more of this because we found out on the last one that we did that was exactly like this, that we ran this amount short. So let's go ahead and order that too. And then, you see what I'm saying? But if you know that already, like, only make me make one trip, right? So I called, as soon as this happened, I called my store manager and I was like, bro, this is what's going on. And it makes zero, like it doesn't compute, right? Like does not compute at all. Today, I get to the store and this guy, Ed, who works, he moved over to our store from the Pensacola store when it got closed. And he was like, yeah, our driver from over there was saying the same thing, that he would deliver paint and there would already, like the paint from the last time he delivered it would still be sitting there. And it's like, this is stupid. So anyway, this morning I was basically like, look, guys, here's the deal. You know the saying, I was looking for a job when I found this one? Have you ever heard anybody say that? Basically saying like, I can find another job. Like I was looking for a job when I found this one, so I can go look for a job again, right? This morning I said, I wasn't even looking for a job when I found this one. You know what I mean? Like I'm so like not caring about this that I wasn't even looking to get a job. This just kind of happened and I'll go back to doing what I was doing, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, here's the deal. We either have to tell them that they need to do better and order the paint in ways that make sense, right?
Yeah.
So that we don't have to go to the same place twice. Or somebody else has to start sharing this workload of driving back and forth to Alabama because I'm not doing it anymore, right? Like we have to figure something out. I'll go back to working, like I'll go back to delivering freaking Walmart groceries. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not too proud to do that, right? And So then I also brought this up. I was like, here's the thing that really sucks. And I know that this isn't what's happening, but it's definitely what feels like is occurring, right? Like this is how it feels to me, even though it's not probably not really true. I'm out here freaking windshield timing 8 hours for the day, essentially driving 3 hours one direction, dropping off paint and driving 3 hours back, right? And, you know, like yesterday, the order I took it took me all day, essentially, like my whole work day, because I had to go to like 3 different subdivisions. And like the first one's 2.5 hours one direction, and then it's like 45 minutes to this one from that one, and then 50 minutes from that one to that one, and then 2.5 hours back home. You know what I mean? So it's basically the full day. But on the day, there's been like 2 days since I started working that I haven't had to go drive that far, right? So I spent most of the day in the store. And we basically sit around with our thumbs up our butts at the store the whole day. So I'm like, now what this feels like is I'm the only person that's out here working, because I know that that, you know what I'm saying? I know that being at the store means you're not doing anything, essentially, right? Like it takes maybe 15 minutes to put one of these orders together, and then I get to drive it out the next day, right? So you're sitting there for 7.5 hours not doing anything. You know what I mean? And I was like, that doesn't feel good. So this is where the question comes in. So this morning I said, essentially, I'm the least compensated person in this store because I'm the least senior. I just started, right? So I'm making the least amount of money, but it feels like I'm doing the most amount of work, right? And the assistant manager goes, well, yeah, like that's kind of how it works sometimes, right? And he's not wrong. He's not wrong.
No, he's not wrong.
In a lot of companies, that's exactly the way it works. But that's not right. It shouldn't work that way, right? So I thought back to when I was the assistant manager for the other paint store that I worked at. There's not a day that went by that you could say that I didn't outwork the 2 employees that worked there. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I outworked them 1,000 times over and over again, right? Like, I promise. And that's the way it should be, one man's opinion. Now I want to ask your opinion. How do you feel about what he said? And is that how it should be? Like, well, I'm senior to you, so I can do you know what I mean? Like, what would your response have been to that if that happened to you, essentially?
And in that situation, in what you said about like you wasn't looking for a job when you found this, that you will go back and deliver the groceries and things like that. Like, so I'm gonna put myself in that situation because I kind of was in a similar situation when I was at the school getting paid the least and doing a lot. And but I really didn't have anything else to fall back on. So I kind of was stuck. So, but I'm gonna put myself, all right, I gotta put myself in your shoes because I'm still thinking about like me and having my son. So I would probably, I probably would have 10 years ago, 10 years ago, I would have walked out probably.
Just left. Right. Oh, I would have too. For sure.
But I don't know. I may have still would have done that now because I think what he said is true. But
it doesn't have to be.
It doesn't have to be.
That's the thing.
But he didn't have to say it. It should be one of those things like.
That's true too, right? You don't have to say it out loud, bro.
Like, yeah, don't say it, dude.
But also, like, what it does for me is it tells me everything that I need to know about you, right?
Exactly. You know,
like now I know who you are. I know who you are now, and we don't have to go any farther than that, right? Like,
because I guarantee you, if like say next week it just gets busy as crap in there, guess what? I got a feeling you may not have to deliver for a little bit because they're going to keep
now
you
we
in the
need you to be here, right?
Yeah, and then you're gonna be like, and then you're gonna outwork him, and then you're gonna be like, "What's up, Doc?" You know,
right?
But
bro,
I just
look, bro. I haven't had like a physical labor, like, you know what I mean, like real kind of job in quite a while. I guarantee you, I can outwork this kid.
Yeah,
no problem.
But I think
I say kid, he's like a year younger than me, but.
well, the talking like he did makes him look like a kid because that doesn't show leadership.
It felt immature, right?
As a manager, yeah, you kind of have that stuff.
It shows bossmanship, not leadership.
Yeah,
I just made that word up.
And I guarantee you, when it gets real and it got busy, he would he would need your help, and like he wouldn't be so cocky anymore.
Yeah.
But what was the last part of the question? So what would I do? I probably would have walked out because, like you said, you could just go back to Walmart and start,
Yeah.
or doing that tomorrow.
Right. I could have left right then and started doing it right away.
Yeah.
There's a Walmart store 5 minutes from the paint store. I could have literally just left and turned my app on, and I'd have been working. Like,
so in that situation, I would. So now
I think that was.
I know
I don't
it
remember.
was.
Okay.
No, it was. Why does it doesn't have to be that way?
Yeah, it doesn't have
No,
to
it
be
doesn't.
that way.
Because you should, as a manager, not want it to be like, oh, I'm the manager because I maybe been here longer, or
Right.
whatever it may be. While you're the manager, having that manager position is, at that point, you just wanted to have a position, to have a title,
Right.
and you're not. And like you to be a good manager, you got to be good to your employees, and like you should be working harder than them because you should be leading the way.
Right.
Like, because how many managers have you had in your life that when they were like that, you're like, screw that dude. But if you ever had a manager that worked hard and
Right.
like really was like in there working just as hard as or harder than everybody else?
Exactly.
Did you hear many people really talking too much junk about them? I'm sure that people will talk about them because people are jealous anyway.
Yeah. Everybody, yeah.
And sometimes, depending on your industry, like when you're working in the kitchen and the manager's back in the kitchen cooking, they probably cussing you out the whole time. So you may not like
right. That's right.
But he's out working you. Like,
yeah.
But let's just say a manager should be working harder than his employees to show how it should be done, so that way you don't have those type of situations. So that's why it doesn't need to be that way.
It doesn't have to be that way.
But I think in society, though, people, when you get this title, it makes you feel like something.
Yeah.
Like,
this guy's been in the paint industry for like 2 years, right? He worked for the other company for like a year and some change, and then he took this assistant manager position at this store. I don't even think it's been a year ago that he came over to this store, to this company.
I would ask him to go mix me a bucket of Rhodomine red.
Right.
Have you ever used that color?
I don't. It depends on if that's a real, like,
Dude,
I don't know.
Rhodomine red, and you would think red, right? And if
is it more like like a bright pink or a fuchsia or something?
It's like that color
behind me.
Almost.
Yeah, this color, right?
Yeah. Not as bright, because I remember the first time they were like, "Hey, I need you to get some Rhodomine red for this order."
For the screen printing, from screen printing? Yeah.
Yeah. And dude, I was over there in the reds because it was like broken down in sections of colors.
Right.
I'm like looking through everything. I never once looked at like the pinkish colors because Rhodomine red.
Because you said red, yeah.
I'm finding a reddish color,
Right.
But dude, you would be the same. I'm sure you're the same way. But like when you first started, someone asked you to get a color, you're like, I have no idea what that is. But after you worked there for a while and you knew your colors, you could pick that color out from across the
The paint industry is a little bit different than the screen printing industry.
Yeah.
As far as colors are concerned, right? Because like for the most part, you're making colors that have pre-made formulas and stuff, and like this is how you make this color from the color chip. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But so like you have to have something to make something. So I would have to have like a piece of paper, like match this piece of paper or whatever.
Yeah.
But either way, I've probably forgotten more about paint than this guy knows. You know what I mean? Like, I actually called him out. I actually called him out yesterday. I think it was maybe the day before. It was funny. It was the day before yesterday. He says, so what, like the first or second day I was there, they brought the delivery van from the store that they closed to our store. So we would have 2 delivery vans so that when one of us is driving to freaking Alabama, we still have a van to do local deliveries with, right? And when they brought it, they brought some paint and stuff that needed to be tinted and delivered. So they brought that in the truck with them, and they left it in there overnight. And it got really, really cold that night. And he goes outside the next morning and he like unloads the truck and he brings it in and he's like, I need to check and make sure this paint's still good and it didn't freeze last night. And I'm like, okay, like, I mean, that's legit, but like also it got down to like barely under freezing, and like you probably could have left a glass of water outside in the parking lot and it wouldn't have frozen. much less a 5
Yeah.
gallon bucket of paint. You know what I mean? Like paint doesn't freeze that easily, right? And so then 2 days ago, he said something else about paint freezing. Well, we got to be careful about taking paint to people and leaving it in their storage units or whatever, like outdoor Connex boxes or stuff on site. Cause if it freezes, then it'll go bad and then blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, bro, like I've worked in the paint industry for like over a decade and I've never seen paint freeze like what you're talking about.
To me, and I could be wrong.
Never once.
To me, it sounds like he's intimidated by it.
Well, he might be, but that's but like either way, like what was funny, I was like, dude, I've literally talked more about freezing paint since I've been working at this store than I ever did in my life before. Like, what is happening right now? You know what I mean? And like, but he basically
some paint freeze.
Basically that's what he told me. He said that when he worked at the store that he worked at before, like it was actually an issue that came up like multiple times within like a short period of time where like homeowners would bring paint cans in to try to get like a match made or something. And the paint would have been frozen like in it, you know what I'm saying? Because they had left it in their shed or whatever, but it had been out there for years. You know what I'm saying? Like it didn't freeze. It didn't freeze last night. You know what I mean? Like it had frozen, you know what I mean? Like it's not the same thing, essentially, is my point.
I think you should do one of two things. One, just ask him a new question every single day about paint.
About the industry?
Yeah. Just
well,
as like, don't.
He told me and somebody else that he's like actively looking for another job anyway. So I'm not that worried about it. But
the
yeah,
second one would be is every time you get opportunity, you should shoulder check him.
That's right. Yeah, just kind of push him into the wall a little bit. You're like, bam.
Yeah, every time.
Physical violence. Yeah. Dude, what are you doing? Why are you in my way?
I'm sorry. I've been in the gym lately.
My bad. I didn't see you there. Yeah, I didn't have my glasses on.
Yeah, I was pumping iron earlier. I just feel big. You know?
I feel like I need to push somebody around.
Yeah,
bro. But like, yeah, it was just crazy. I was like, this is insane. Like I have never, but you were mentioning like managers that you liked working for because they actually worked and ones that didn't. Right. And like, that's exactly how I feel about whenever I was going to take this job. I called my old manager from Sherwin and I was like, hey, just so you know, like I applied for the job at Florida Paints. And so you might get a call from somebody just, I doubt it, but you might, you know what I mean? Because I put him down obviously as like someone I had worked for in the past. And he was like, bro, you want your old job back? You can have it right now. He's like, I need an assistant manager. And I was like thought about it for like half a second, right? I was like, maybe. And then he goes, but I'm actually taking a different position, so I won't be the manager at this store for very long. And I was like, well, then I don't want to do it. The only reason that I would do that is to go back to work with him. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's the only reason that I would take that position. On the flip side, when you were talking about managers that in the kitchen, the restaurant industry specifically, I don't know if I've ever told you this. I might have. This guy, Justin, that was the like general manager of the restaurant that I worked at when I was younger.
It's always a Justin.
Already bad. That's right. It's either Justin or Kyle, one of the two. My manager at the store I work at now, his name is Kyle, so that's pretty funny. He's a good dude though. He's pretty cool. So anyway, one night, I mean, we're busy. It's slammed. Like everybody's working like chickens with their heads cut off, the whole thing, right? All the cliches you can think of. Plastic that crackers come in with like, what are you talking about right now? Like
you just admitted you saw it 3 times.
You just told on yourself, you idiot. Like reach down and pick it up. Bro, I was like, but that's the vibe I got when it was like, well, yeah, that's kind of how it works. Like, bruh. Don't make me come over there and pop you in the mouth real quick.
Dude, I remember working in the kitchen, dude. That's like, I worked in Outback kitchen and I've worked in a couple others, but like Outback's probably the most bigger chain one that I've worked in. But dude, I worked in Sonic too. That was a hoot. But yeah, dude, working in the kitchen's different. Different.
It is. No, you've got to be okay. So to survive in the restaurant industry, you have to be like a different kind of crazy, right? Like you really, especially if you work in the kitchen, like really even to work in the front of the house, like dealing with customers, you have to be like, there has to be a circuit that's not connected properly, because it's a different world. Like,
It's a whole
nothing
different world.
nothing that you know about life applies to the restaurant industry.
No, because
Nothing.
it's like you live your life pretty much at that place. You work long
You're
hours.
there 20 hours a day. Right. Yeah.
You probably eat there. Like, you probably come before your shift to eat.
Yeah. Your diet is literally French fries and whatever, like, shrimp falls off a plate. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
Yeah, and then dude, I remember this is when I quit Outback. So we had a general manager. She was there. She was cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
Right.
And I remember one time,
I'm telling you,
she got so mad. She got so mad about something, and I think it was, I want to say it was kind of towards me, but she got mad so mad, and she definitely was like bipolar or something. But she got so mad, she took her fist and started banging it on like the counter. She broke her bone in her hand. She came the next day with a cast, and I was like, yeah. And then she left. I think she left shortly after that because they sent corporate down, and she did that in front of corporate.
Oh, wow.
So they moved her to a different store. But I think her name was Wendy now. But then they moved this new guy in. He was cool. He was a little, upbeat, whatever. And I remember it was during a rush, okay? In a rush, when people are yelling, they need their mash, they need this, they need that. They need that now. So I remember Outback makes all their stuff in house, like all dressings, mashed potato, everything's made in house and fresh. So we ran out of mash, and I remember the hot side, the guy cooking the steaks and stuff, and I worked on cold side, which was salads and all the fried stuff and desserts. And I remember he's like yelling, I need mash on the fly. So I ran to the back because I was like, all right, I got it, or heard, or whatever, because no one else was doing it. So I ran back there.
Heard, chef? No.
I grabbed all the stuff to make mash. The way to make mash is they had this like thing of fries that was like soaking in water because they cut the fries. We cut our fries fresh.
Sure.
And you dump them into the big masher, and there's a process. Like, you're supposed to mix it, and then they had all the seasons and stuff like broken out. Like in step one is this bag of seasons. Then you got to stir, blah blah, so long. Step 2 is this. Step 3 is this. Right. Whatever. I'm sure there's a reason why, but okay. Everybody's yelling they need mash because we didn't have any. So I literally went back there and like dumped it, and then like mixed it like a little bit. Did step 1. And then I just kept hearing screaming, so I just dumped the rest of the stuff in there and still mixed it. Like, it's all going to the same freaking place.
Right.
And he walked in as I was like doing it out of
order.
And dude, he's lit into me, and I said, "Listen, dude, I'm not gonna deal with this right now." I'm like, no. And he come at me. He come at me about something, and I was like, "What's your problem?" And then like something happened, and he's like, "Let's go in my office." And I was like, "All right, sure, let's go in there, bet." Right. And then we get in there, and he starts going off about something. I was like, I just said, I'm gonna stop you there.
Right.
I said, you ain't gonna talk to me like that. Right. I'm in here busting my butt. Nobody, like, I make less money than these two people that I'm the captain or whatever you want to call it of this side, and I make less money than two people I'm in charge of. And I've asked for raises, and you won't give me. He's like, well, I don't think you deserve a raise. I said, then why am I the like captain or whatever they call it?
Why do I deserve to have this thing to do, but not deserve to get paid for it?
Yeah, make these guys do it, because I was the oldest. I was still in college, but I was older than them. And I was like, I'm at this position for a reason. I said, and then he started going on about the mash, and then he said something else, and he's like, I could do your job better than you can on a snowy day or something like that. And I said, all right,
do it.
I took my apron off, and balled it up, and threw it at him, and hit him right in the face. I was like, you can do it tonight then. Peace out.
Yeah.
And I just left, dude.
Right.
I was like, because I'm about to fight this guy in a restaurant.
That happened to me and Justin a few times. Like, I quit and went back to work there. Like after I calmed down, you know what I mean? Like, one night, like, he said something smart to me, dude, and I was like, all right, later. I went downstairs. I told the owner of the restaurant, I was like, I'm gone, dude. I can't work with that guy. And I left. I went home.
Places at jobs like that, dude, I ain't gonna lie. When I knew I was about to quit and something was popping off, I was that person that I didn't even tell you. I would just say, I'm gonna go take my break.
Yeah.
I just ain't coming back. Like, unless something happened like immediately like that.
I went and told
yeah.
Mr. Pat, just out of respect for him, right? Like, I'm leaving. Like, I'm done. I can't deal with that guy. He was like kind of fairly new at the time. That he had recently been hired, the general manager guy, and I was like, I'm not doing it. Like, I'm not putting up with that. So I left. And then he called me back the next day and was like, you know what I mean? Like, come back to work. Like, we'll figure it out. You know what I mean? So, and
yeah.
one night, so that was one night that I quit. I quit another time because there was like a drain that kept backing up in the kitchen. Like, you know, the floor drains, like it kept backing up. And so he was in there with some kind of like Drano type, super crazy chemical, pouring it down this drain in the middle of service. Like, we're cooking people's food. There's people in the restaurant, like sitting down at tables, waiting for their food, eating, all of the above. And there's this like cloud of smoke, chemical smoke rising out of this drain and filling up the restaurant. And he just keeps doing it. And I'm like, bro, like, what are you doing? Like, people were getting sick. You know what I mean? Like, not in that moment, but like there were like multiple people that came, like called the next day and they were like, I'm not coming to work today because like I can't breathe. And like, you know what I mean? And all this different stuff. And I was like, bro, like, I'm not working in this environment. This guy's an idiot. And I left, quit that night too. I was like, I'm done. I'm not doing that. I'm not about to be responsible for it. What up, boy? Ain't you got some homework to do or something?
What up, bro?
Saw, dude. But yeah, you don't even have them. Don't tell anybody. What are you doing? Ain't you supposed to be like playing video games or doing homework or something?
I'm supposed to be my good helper as my dad.
Oh, there you go.
Another thing about the restaurant business is that's the only job that you could probably quit every single night you work.
And you come back the next day. Yeah. 1,000%. 1,000%.
Or there's always that one time that employee quits and they may be gone for a week.
Yeah.
To cool down.
And then they just show back up on a Wednesday and come back to work. Yeah, absolutely.
You'll see their name on the schedule. You'll see that you'll be like, oh, I'm working with John again.
Yeah, John's coming back. That's cool. Yeah.
Look what my for
Valentine's Day. A chocolate football.
I was like, I feel like there's something wrong with that football. It's chocolate.
Yeah.
Got it. That's pretty cool, though. That's pretty cool.
We ate half.
Yeah. Nice. Dude, don't eat the whole thing at once. Your teeth will rot out. I fired my whole kitchen staff one night at that same restaurant. There was like, I fired everybody but the dishwasher, bro. I sent every one of them home. And then the next day I called back like 3 of the 5 of them and told them they could come back. I was like, everybody leave.
And then there's always, I mean, most of the employees, especially like the servers and stuff, that on their days off,
they come in and hang out. 1,000%.
I'm just like, there used to be and I'm sure she's still on TikTok, but there was a woman on TikToker that used to do like skits on like the restaurant industry, and that was one of her main ones she did.
Right.
Like, she would basically
Isn't it your day off? Yeah.
Like restaurant workers and she'll be there spinning she's like, walks in, she's like, oh my God. And she'll like spin her key, like, playing with her keys, like, yeah, it's my day off. I'm just here. Don't worry about me.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm just going to sit at the bar.
Yeah. I'm just like, that is so true, dude.
But you know what that is? That's because of what you said early in the beginning of this conversation. It's because when you work in the restaurant industry, that literally is your life. It's you eat, sleep, drink. Everyone that you work with are the only people that you know. You know what I mean? Like, so all your friends are there. So on your day off, it's like, I can't do anything fun because all my friends are at work. So I might as well go hang out with them. Like, so you do.
Yeah. I mean, even because I worked in the kitchen, even though I was in college, I mean, I don't know, I may have not been in that semester, but even though I was, like, even if you worked and we worked till like we would close the kitchen at 11 o'clock on a weeknight, everybody would leave.
You go to somebody's house and party.
And go to somebody's house and hang out. Like, I would be still in my work clothes from Outback, like, smelling like blooming onions, trying to talk to some chick.
Exactly. Exactly that. This is literally what my life was during that time. Wake up, whatever time, go to work. If you had to work the lunch shift, you get there at 9 o'clock or whatever, prep, do lunch. And then you ended up working the dinner shift too, because somebody called out. You know what I mean? Right. So, so you work the lunch shift, you work the dinner shift, We clean up the kitchen. We go home. All right, whose house are we going to? All right, well, let's go to so and so's house. So it was either my house or this guy Landon. Those were the two options essentially. All right, so we're going to Landon's house. Everybody goes over to Landon's house. We'd play poker until like the sun came up, and then you go take a nap and you do it again. Like,
Yeah, that's
it was literally what my life was during that time, over and over and over again.
I'm not sure if I was in school during that time I worked at Outback, because I don't know how I would have been able to do school. Like,
Right, there was no time. There was no time.
But I feel like I was, though. I don't know, but yeah.
Either way, it all starts to blend together eventually.
Yeah, but that's wild. But yeah, I'm probably going to take off because I got to get on the V Fam League tonight. They're doing the draft, so I got to see. I got to see where I'm going, where I'm getting picked.
Heck yeah, that's awesome. Cool. Well, I think we've had a good conversation, so maybe we'll have some good clips from it.
Yeah. So when are you?
That's what I was going to ask you too. That same question that you're about to ask me.
So when are you going to Uganda?
I leave on the 10th. I leave in 3 weeks.
Oh, so you got 3 weeks.
Well, I have 2 Thursdays. Next Thursday and the following, and then I will be gone. Be leaving next Tuesday.
If possible, if it works out, we can record one more episode next week.
Okay.
And then I
can schedule, because we'll have 5 if that's the case. I can schedule, essentially I can schedule episode to release up until I get back, essentially once a week until I get back.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Like, so we can record one more next week, and then that'll give us 5, and then you can schedule one for every week.
Yeah, because I could do. Yeah, so if we have 5 episodes, I'll schedule one. We can release them on Thursdays since we record on Thursdays, even though we won't be releasing them or whatever, right?
Yeah.
We could do them on. That would give us the 5th, the 12th, the 19th, and the 20th, and the 2nd of April. And then but I would be back to record. We could record on the 2nd, and that would basically be having us on a schedule where we're recording next week's episode every week. You see what I'm saying?
All right. And what I might do one of those weeks, that week I get back from Texas, is I might record an episode of the Jolly and Slim, but bring a guest on that went to Texas, and talk about Texas.
I like that. That's a good idea.
Just to have that episode in there.
Yeah. Cool.
But all right, that's cool. Yep. So
That'll
I'll
work.
be in touch.
Talk to you later.
All right. Pete, let me move.